One of the most fascinating things about the NBA playoffs is the game within the game and the constant adjustments teams have to make over the course of a series. A first round matchup where I'm really interested to see how this goes is the Golden State Warriors taking on the Houston Rockets, and in particular, the way Stephen Curry is defended and how the Warriors counter. I'm going to take a deeper dive into this chess match and why it could very well determine which team moves on to the second round. Typically, when defending Stephen Curry, you can only hope to contain him, and even that can require some divine intervention. When Curry gets hot, there are very few things in sports like it. I went into this a few months ago in a video after seeing Steph score 56 points in person, though Rockets head coach Ime Udoka has lived it. 3 years ago, Udoka was the head coach of the Celtics when the Warriors beat them in the NBA Finals. Though in that series, the Celtics played a lot of drop coverage against the greatest shooter ever. This is playing with fire, as a center dropping back to protect the paint can let Curry have space, and if a defender's having trouble working through that screen, Steph can make it look like target practice, though that hasn't been the case when Udoka's Rockets have faced Curry this year. A few weeks ago when these teams played, Steph had one of the worst offensive games of his career. He scored just 3 points on 1 of 10 shooting, and while he added 8 assists, the future Hall of Famer had 4 turnovers to go with it. The Rockets implemented a game plan here that very few teams have the versatility to truly match, so I'm fascinated to see how this plays out over the course of a series. The main player we will likely see defending Curry is Amen Thompson. I highlighted Thompson's game more extensively in a video earlier this season, but he's already emerged as one of the league's best defenders, given his mix of high-end athleticism, versatility given his size and movement, while also being wise beyond his years in terms of reading the floor. Thompson's blend of skills can give opponents of all sizes fits, but even in this last game, he wasn't just chasing Steph around screens. Creating ways for your star player to get open is obviously a vital aspect of all offenses, though this is most apparent with the Warriors. Curry is incredible at moving without the ball, which obviously can get him open. More importantly, the threat of Curry moving without the ball also creates open looks for teammates, though the Rockets in the last meeting had Thompson and others defending up on Steph, giving him little room to utilize those screens. On many possessions, this resulted in Steph staying away from the possession, which neutralized Thompson as well. Though the main thing is it led to the teams playing 4 on 4, and the Rockets took their chances that the Warriors outside of Curry didn't have the personnel to beat them. However, there were a few instances in this one where Steph's movement without the ball led to baskets. As Jimmy Butler is about to pass, you could see Fred VanVleet is defending up on Curry with his hands on his chest. Once Draymond Green has the ball, you could see Steph is working towards the top of the key as Butler prepares to set a screen, though Steph makes a sudden stop as Jimmy sets the screen and starts running towards the ball. This freeze frame shows just what type of fear Curry strikes into defenses. As Butler begins to roll towards the basket, Alperen Şengün, who is defending the screener, is immediately rushing towards Curry along with Van Vliet. Though this happening lets Butler have a clean roll to the rim that he finishes with 2 points. This starts with Steph setting a screen for Buddy Hield to catch the ball out on the wing, though Curry relocates towards the left corner, and you can see he starts cutting and has a step on Jalen Green. Draymond finds Steph, but he isn't in position to take a shot here, so Curry kicks it out to Jonathan Kuminga in the right corner. As Dillon Brooks closes out on the ball, you could see Curry along the right baseline working his way to the corner. Kuminga hands him the ball, and after one dribble, you could see Steph now has the full attention of both Brooks and Green, though doing this leaves Kuminga a clear runway as he rolls following the screen, and Steph makes the pass that leads to an easy dunk. We know of Jimmy Butler's previous postseason heroics, but if how the Rockets defended Curry in the last meeting was any indication, he's going to have to be incredibly aggressive in this series. Whether it was blitzing Curry out of pick and roll, or possessions where the teams are playing 4 on 4 and the Rockets essentially dared the rest of the Warriors to beat them, this can lead to some clean looks or easy baskets, but they'd prefer this happening as opposed to Curry beating them. In this instance, Steph is bringing the ball up and Jonathan Kuminga comes over to set a screen, though it's a slip screen, and he immediately starts rolling to the basket after tagging Van Vliet. Kuminga's now getting downhill, and Alperen Şengün rotates over to cut off the drive. Kuminga then passes it to Gary Payton II in the corner. While corner threes are valuable, GP2 isn't a knockdown shooter, so the Rockets will live with the result despite him making the shot. Here in the second quarter, you can see Steph in the right corner with Dylan Brooks staying on him. This is one of the possessions where these teams are playing 4 on 4. As Jimmy Butler works his way to the top of the key, Brandon Pajemski cuts, and Draymond Green finds him, though with Şengün rotating, Pods throws the quick touch pass to Peyton II in the corner. Given the circumstances, this was a nice play to generate a good look, though the Rockets will live with GP2 taking a 3 here, and in this case, he misses the attempt. This time, we have a sideline out of bounds play, and you could see Amen has his hands on Curry before the ball is inbounded. Now, as Moses Moody has the ball and faces up Şengün, Thompson and Curry are closer to the top of the key, though there's still no room to operate, and it's another 4 on 4 possession. Moody gets downhill, and when he's in the paint, he has the attention of 3 Rockets defenders, which should lead to a potential advantage, as while Jimmy Butler's open in the right corner, Draymond Green's noticeably cutting from the left. This looks like the makings of an easy basket, but by the time Draymond gets the ball, Şengün has already done a nice job rotating towards him, and while Draymond makes the shot, he's charged with an offensive foul. The other interesting part of this will be if the Rockets can contain Steph. Where else will the Warriors get shooting from? Jimmy Butler's not much of a three-point shooter. Brandon Pajemski's solid in this regard, though the answer could be relying more on Buddy Hield. Hield's defense could become a question in a playoff setting, but he's been a big-time three-point shooter since entering the league. The Warriors in the last game these teams played also showed some ways they could utilize him. In this instance, Curry inbounds the ball and immediately runs towards Hield, though Hield fakes the dribble handoff and gets downhill. After getting deep in the paint, Hield kicks it out to Jonathan Kuminga, though as Kuminga's in the air catching it, you could see Hield running and relocating like we've seen Steph do so many times previously. With nobody following, Hield gets a clean look and hits the open corner 3. Steph's bringing the ball up here, and like an earlier possession, we have Jonathan Kuminga setting a slip screen. As Kuminga slips, you can see both Van Vliet and Tari Eason, who was initially defending the screener, stick with Curry, but you can see Buddy Hield working his way to the right corner. Kuminga catches the pass on the roll and passes it out to a wide-open Buddy. While he doesn't make the shot, this is an encouraging possession that results in a shot the Warriors would want. This series could be a lot of fun for various reasons. There's a history between the Rockets and Warriors dating back to the beginning of the Warriors' run years ago, a young up-and-coming team facing one that's battle-tested, and then the schematic aspect of it all. The Rockets have shown a way they were able to limit Curry, and while it could lead to some clean looks for other Warriors players, it makes sense to dare non-Curry players to beat you in a game, let alone a 7-game series. We know Jimmy Butler can turn it up in the playoffs, and in his time in Golden State, he's already shown some ways to create offense in a 2-man game with Curry, though the Rockets a few weeks ago showed their first move. Now the Warriors have time to prepare and counter before the series starts, so let the games begin. If you made it this far, thank you, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on my in-depth analysis throughout the 2025 NBA playoffs.